We've all attended black colleges, and yet there is right now a disproportionate number of African American females going to these black institutions, and our males are falling short. How do we solve that?
Well, let me lay out an interesting statistic for you. And starting in 1979, more women have been going to college and earning degrees than men, regardless of race. Okay, so you really have not just an African American male problem, we have a male problem. That's one of the reasons why I'm really focused on starting some boys academies here in LA Unified, is because we've got to save boys, period, because they're falling off the table. Now, when you compound that with the issues affecting African American males, naturally they are disproportionately impacted. So you look at LA Unified School District, 83,000 African Americans, probably around 35, 40,000 males, half of whom never graduate. Right. Okay, so then there's this market of African American males that we have to go after. Now, how do we get after them? I say each one take one. We all have to get at least one and mentor that child and nurture that child to graduation, not just graduate from high school, but graduate from college or wherever. And we're gonna have to do that. I'm right now I'm up in Denver at a Sigma Pi Phi, which is the oldest African American fraternity, called the Boule. And one of the things that the Boule is getting ready to do right now is that they are going to go after African American males and start to nurture them, because we're going to have to start mentoring them and working with them, and you get them into an environment like a FAMU, like a Hampton. My wife and daughter went to Hampton, and of course a Morehouse or a Prairie View. You will find that we could probably save a lot more of them. So this is a mission. But this is not about talk anymore. This is about action. I'm working with 100 Black Men here and Dr. Anthony Samad, and we're going to go after this problem right here in LA, because I'm going to tell you something. We don't get it done before they finish high school, then they end up incarcerated.
That's right.
And if they end up incarcerated, then you never see them. But more importantly, what happens is it begins to tear down the entire fabric of the entire community.
But now, Kinsey, let me ask you, do you think that there are any misconceptions, particularly with African Americans here in California, about these black institutions? And if so, any that come to mind for you?
Yeah, you know, I ran the West Coast for Xerox for many years, so I got a chance to look at people from all over the country, from the Ivy League, the West, and all of that. So I got a chance, particularly a lot of black folks, so I could almost tell you attitudinally where people were coming from in terms of where they went to school.
And not to toot your own horn, but you also ran Rebuild LA for a number of years.
Yeah, I ran Rebuild LA. So, I mean, you see this thing. I mean, there's a big UCLA, USC population here, which I think is wonderful. And I'm not mad at anybody wanting to do that, because, you know, growing up here. But for me, I go back to my comments about Brandeis, Holy Cross, and all these schools, Wesleyan. I mean, nobody talks about changing them. I mean, it's just, I mean, we would not have had a Harlem Renaissance had we not had Howard University, period. You follow me? 1858. You follow me? Just that simple. Just that simple.
So what's the connection between the Harlem Renaissance and the Howard University?
Well, if we destroy the very fabric of how our intellectual capital is built, you follow me? We have no chance of being able to educate and move our populations along. Again, if we have 13% of the kids going to black colleges, but they're graduating at a disproportionate share in terms of the amount getting BS degrees. And I forgot the statistic, but at Florida A&M, it is in the 35-40% range. You follow me? That's not true at white colleges at all. It is just not true. And you think about, most of these schools are basically athlete mills. You follow me? Kids go there and they run track and all that stuff. One of the things my wife Shirley and I started was, we do the Black History Month luncheon every year. We've sent 117 kids from Los Angeles to Florida A&M. That's one way you solve it. You follow me? You say, okay, let's go to college. You follow me? Provide scholarship and move them on out of here. You follow me? They've come back now as lawyers and doctors and nurses and pharmacists and all of these kinds of things. Matter of fact, the filmmakers, you follow me? Last night, the NAACP Theater Awards. You follow me? We had kids from Stomp the Yard and all. I mean, all of this is possible when you provide this opportunity for people to walk through that door.
One of the things we haven't talked about as we conclude on our discussion is the social aspects of black colleges. What has been some of your most cherished experiences John Fleming, as it relates to your matriculation through a black institution?
How long do we have? I couldn't count. I couldn't count those. Literally, you know, my fondest memory is just the institution and experience itself. What these schools do, they make you socialize. A lot of institutions I went to campus, I witnessed a lot of isolation. With our schools, HBCUs, you have to socialize with the entire school, with the entire campus, with all the teachers, because they care. They want you. They make you do that. Because of that, you go into a world where you meet individuals like Brewer and Kinsey, and I know how to socialize with them. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, brown, green. They force me to talk, and they force me to say, "What do you know, young man? How has your experience changed you? What type of education do you have, and what have you made the most of it with that?" So I think from that perspective, it was literally every day. It was literally every week and every year that I was at that school that the social aspect was just profound on the effects of me.